Hi, and welcome to our podcast, Learning Leading Now, where we talk all things education at Mobile County Public Schools. I'm your host, Sally Erickson. I'm the Community Engagement Specialist here in the Communications Department at Mobile County Public Schools, joined by my colleague.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kimberly Dunn. I'm Communications Specialist, and I'm so excited to be here, and we have a very special guest with us today.
We wanted to welcome Juree Hall, who is the Director of Mobile Public Library. Welcome, Ms. Hall. It is so great to have you.
Good morning. I'm very, very happy to be here. Juree Hall.
Juree Hall. Sorry.
Juree Hall.
It's this is library sign-up month, library card sign-up month, but we would be happy to have our Director of Mobile Public Library at any time of the year because it's always a great time to go to the library.
Absolutely.
So you can see here, those who are watching us can see all of our wonderful classic novels and books here on the display. Some of these are my very favorites from when I was a child.
Yes.
Some are my favorites for my children. But I also brought my own very favorite book from when I was little, the Frog and Toad series.
Yes.
So that was one of my favorite ones because it's several books. It's several Frog and Toad books, and I think they now have their own Twitter feed.
Oh, so fun.
But when I was little, I always wanted to find the latest Frog and Toad because I
Yes.
just love their way of looking at life. So that was
So
my
sweet.
favorite book.
I know for myself, one of the books and series that kind of made the biggest impact on me and really anchored me into more of a love of reading was The Tears of a Tiger and Forged by Fire by Sharon Draper. And so those were novels that we were assigned to read through summer reading programs. And, you know, without those, I would have never read them. But I love the stories that they tell and the lessons that they taught. And so those were just really special books to me that kind of ignited that love of reading. Of course, my mom read to me many times when I was young, and it was exciting to hear those stories be told. But this was the first time it was like I was choosing to love the reading.
Oh, that's wonderful. And I'm so glad you brought up about summer reading program because
Yes.
I think for many children in our community, the Mobile Public Library summer reading program is their first introduction to that sort of choice and the excitement of
Yes.
going to any branch and signing up for all of the prizes and then setting a reading challenge. So now, of course, you can tell us whatever you want to talk about with the library, but I thought that might be a fun starting point if you want to start talking about these programs.
It is. All of it is a fun starting point.
Yeah.
So again, thank you for having me here. As director of the library, of course, I have wear lots of hats, but my original hat began pretty much with the similar memories that you all have. My first memory was my mom reading The Little Red Hen. Does anybody remember that?
Oh, yes.
Well, right. And so there may be people watching or listening who remember that one, and it was really a story of determination, but we also have the animals in there. We have the farm
Yes.
setting, and we have those
Yes.
things. And so I think as director in Mobile, one of the first things that I want parents, families, children, anyone to know is that they can begin that fond memory, that connection to literacy at a very early age.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that we do is focus on early learning and literacy in the library. And so you'll see programs on our social media platform that highlight that, like 100 books before kindergarten, right?
Yes.
So you're seeing some of that circulate where our little people are coming in, they're with their families, they turn in, they register and they turn in their little certificate, and then they get a picture, and it just
So
ignites
special.
that, and
Yes.
it's that special connection.
Yeah.
And so you don't have to wait until they're reading. We can start really, really early. So
Exactly.
we have story time at all of our locations. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah.
But once we do that early literacy piece, then we're getting them ready to begin school and be excellent partners to you all and support everything that you're doing. So I just thought I'd bring one of my favorite first books, which was this one.
I love it.
Determination, making the weed, working hard, and then seeing the rewards at the end. And that's a lesson that all parents can tie in with their kids.
Absolutely. And being able, like you mentioned, reading 100 books before kindergarten, that's celebrating those moments with them, helps them to become more excited about doing those things and having those accomplishments for themselves. And so being able to instill that in them at a young age is so important. So we appreciate what y'all are doing.
Sure. So some of the things that happen after that definitely our summer reading. That is just a big hit because the young people come out of school and then we don't want that summer lag, that learning lag. And so a lot of times parents are looking for resources. Where can I go? What can I do? The Mobile Public Library, and this is one of my did you knows.
Yes.
Did you know the Mobile Public Library has 11 locations? And so here's another secret thing I like to share as a director. Don't just go to your neighborhood, venture out a little bit because there's different programming which is similar but different at different locations. And so that's one of the things I love to do. I'll go to our Grand Bay, or I'll go to Ben May downtown, or West Regional, and anywhere that you see on our website, our locations, you will find engaging programming and focused literacy efforts for young people. So summer reading, excellent, all types of wonderful activities. Sign up for all types of games and gifts and prizes, so we can bridge that gap and help you all as a school system continue to have kids ready for the new school year, which is where we are now.
Well, we feel like that's one of the most important things a parent can do to prepare a child for school, is to make sure that child is very, very connected to literacy in all forms. And I started reading to my children when they were just barely a little bit more than an infant, because they just loved it. You could tell they loved it. They would just sit there and kick their legs, and they would be very focused and very engaged. And so as a parent, that moment where you realize, hey, I can really make a difference here by getting them excited about books, it's the most wonderful feeling.
So one of the first things that I like to see our new moms do is that story time and lap time, right? So there's that connection, that bonding in a safe space in our libraries, which are safe spaces as well, where they can connect with the child. And sometimes they say, oh, well, they're not reading yet, or, and that's not how that works, right? We start getting them familiar with shared spaces and literacy resources at an early age. So story time, while our older siblings may be in school, we can have those younger siblings who are not school age yet actually be in libraries. But then once our young people do start school, there are literally hundreds of ways that the library helps support what is happening in our schools, and that is so, so important to me. Hats off to all of the teachers who do so much planning and move those young people into enlightening them and preparing them and helping them meet milestones and tackle literacy. And so the library has children's specialists and librarians and library associates who are there to receive them. So after school, lots of programs.
Yes.
Saturdays, weekends, lots of programs. Books, exploring, STEAM, programs and kits, take and makes, and I brought some of those things here that they can get as well sometimes at different locations.
Yeah.
So
Everybody loves a take and make.
yes, I love to take and make. I was sitting here, and my colleague was sitting here, and he's talking and he's fidgeting, and I'm thinking, okay, focus.
Yeah,
we're supposed to be working.
We're all very creative that way.
Yes.
Well, one of the things that I love as a parent, getting to go to the library on the weekends, when you have those community events that you've talked about a little bit, and one of them, they had a Lego day. And so they were able to come and we read books and the kids played with Legos, and that was so fun. And then another one, and you mentioned it, if you want to talk about it a little bit more, was even story time. They had a select book that they were reading throughout the day. And so we just came and we were read to, and then we got to let them pick out their own books. And so just being able to have it's really great family bonding, but it's also instilling that love of learning throughout their life, beyond just infancy and being assigned reading in school. It's building a natural love for it. So if you wanted to talk about some of those community events that you're able to do.
Sure. So every branch location is different, and that's one of the things I love about our libraries. And so you can go to the library's website, mobilepubliclibrary.org, and look at the calendar of events at each different location, 11 locations. So again, but some do arts and crafts.
Yes.
Some do reading. Some do poetry contests. I mean, there's so many different things. For me, welcoming the community in is it.
Yeah.
And then they explore. So it could be structured programming that you're talking about. It also could just be a young person sitting playing chess or checkers, sitting
Yes.
at the table in the library. There's something there for everyone and something that you can connect to in our spaces. So I'd say come in and see what you like, see what fits you. Find a corner, find a nook, sit, and read. So I have lots of things here as well. As I move on from our elementary years, then we get into our young adult and our tweens, right? And
Yes.
they want a little bit more. I heard some names of authors you talked about.
Yes.
They want a little bit more independence and they want to explore a little bit more. Libraries are perfect hangout places for
Yes.
our teens. We support them. We know that they want a place to hang out and have a safe place. And so gaming at our libraries is really big in different
Oh,
communities.
so
They love to
fun.
come and do gaming. Game night. I was looking at numbers the other day at one of our locations, and they just had a program with large participation, and that's really good. And then I also brought a couple of books, haiku, like lots of things that their teachers are encouraging them to do more reading, and the library is a great place for our young people. And then, of course, bridging on into our high schoolers. Oh, yes, because they are into a different space and maybe planning for what's next beyond, and the library yet again is an excellent place for that.
Yeah.
Here I love to not only do the reading but also use our online resources for ACT prep, SAT
Yes.
prep, driver's test prep, resources for parents, parenting skills. There's just so many wonderful things.
And I think that's really great that you bring up that point. All of these resources that you just talked about, ACT prep and driving education prep, all of those are on your website.
Absolutely. And so you simply, again, go to our website, mobilepubliclibrary.org, and across that top toolbar, you'll see the drop down. And it could be under test prep, it could be under online classes, but you'll see a number of places where you can explore our
Wonderful.
resources.
And these are all free
Yes.
and ready
Absolutely
24/7.
free. So now is when I go back into what we are celebrating this month. It is National Library Card Sign-Up Month. And so you'll see a big push from me partnering with our communities and schools to
schools,
make
yeah.
sure that every child, every adult has a library card. You can access the resources online with your library card from anywhere.
It's fantastic.
And then you also can obviously come into one of our physical locations.
Well, and don't forget the bookmobile.
Oh, the
I was at,
bookmobile.
yeah.
That is one of my favorites. I want to say it's coming up this week or in the next, and don't quote me on it. But the bookmobile actually would be at Bellingraph Gardens.
Oh, how
and we'll be
cute.
doing some STEM, and that team will be there. They are phenomenal. They have resources there as well. You can get a card at the bookmobile.
Oh, fun.
Yes, you can check out books when the
Well,
bookmobile.
I was at Just For a couple of years ago
Yes,
when the
yes,
bookmobile came,
yes,
and
yes.
the excitement on those children's
Yes.
faces, getting to climb aboard and pick out a book.
Yes,
They were all allowed
yes.
to check out a book.
Yes, and it's a really popular. I mean, bookmobiles have served communities for years. So there's a history there, but it's really, really important for some communities that can't come to the library. That's the other piece of that,
exactly.
to connect
Yeah,
them.
it
They
comes
come
to
to
them.
you.
Makes me,
Yeah.
they'll come to you, and so sometimes it could be at festivals or other places, but then many times our bookmobile is servicing communities that may not be able to get to us, and it's really important and a special service. So.
Absolutely. Making it accessible to everyone is so important. And myself as a parent, I love September because my oldest son in kindergarten, his kindergarten class took a trip to the library to get their first library cards. And so now my daughter, she's in kindergarten now, and they are taking a trip this month to get their first library cards. And it's so exciting. All of the students are just beyond excited. They get to pick out their own book and they're so proud about it. And now my son, he's had his card for 5 years now, and he loves going, and whatever his new interest is, it's able to grow with him. Just as you mentioned, there's something for everyone.
Sure.
So he was, that preschool age, and now he's the big fifth grader at school, and he's still
He
able.
grows with it.
Yes, it still grows with him and fits the interests that he has in that moment, whether it's sports or fan fiction or whatever it looks like in that moment. It grows with him, and so that's so special.
I love that point that you make, that there's something for everyone, because you're reminding me of the book tasting festival that they have at Linecoff Elementary every year, and it's just like this table where every table has all these different books on it. And if you walk around it and just look, you can get an idea that every child could find something to get connected with, or not. Every child can look at some of these other books and say, oh, well, that subject doesn't really interest me. I'll move on to the next table.
Yes,
Well, perusing is also a way of exploring.
exactly.
Yeah.
So even if they don't take it, they're seeing colors, they're seeing words,
Yes.
they're reading. So you mentioned visiting the library. We welcome that. That's exciting for me when schools partner with their local branch and then come out and
Yes.
visit. It's a simple phone call and we can accommodate it. We
Yes.
love for our students to come visit. But there's another element here that I also want to make sure I highlight. Not only the students, but teachers have
Yes.
resources.
Yes.
They have a little more flexibility than parents and families because we allow them to check out more books in case they're doing special, projects in
yes.
school. But any teacher with the school system can contact their local branch, contact their children's librarian or the branch manager and say, hey, I'm working on this particular subject. Could we visit, or could we have a collection maybe to stay in the classroom to supplement what we're doing?
Yeah.
And that's an excellent way, if teachers are listening, that's an excellent way to connect, as well as bringing kids, but also letting us be able to support what learning
Well,
is
and
happening.
another
in the
thing
classroom.
that people may not be aware of in this era of so many news organizations being behind a paywall, if you want to research something and look in the New York Times or the Washington Post, you can do that at the library without
Absolutely.
having to have a subscription.
Absolutely. So we've talked about our physical building. We've talked about our books. We've talked a little bit about our online resources, but wonderful resources, periodicals, just so many resources that we have there, as well as one of our branches, local genealogy and history at the library. It's right
Wow.
beside, it's located right beside the Ben May Library. It's like right across the little walkway there. And although that might be a resource for adults and parents, it's a wonderful place for children to know that is there, to look up family history, to look up
Absolutely.
history.
Well, and they're
in
learning
real-
about those things in school.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yep. And so I'm excited about that, being able to connect, not just to blend the two. I love that as the director, to be able to balance out our online resources, which we know are important with digital literacy, right, with our young people, as well as our printed materials. So speaking of that, some of the services that we provide include many things that you've discussed, but also being able to borrow a Chromebook or a laptop. I know a lot of students get them through schools these days, but hotspots, the library offers
Wow.
those.
Oh,
right?
nice.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So if they are needing to borrow a Chromebook, what does that look like? How do they sign up, or are they able to leave the
first piece
premises
is that
with
library
it?
card.
Okay.
They sign up, and they are, and it's just a simple, registration of it, and they check out a Chromebook.
How
in
long
the
are they
hotspot.
able to keep it if they?
I
check it
believe it varies based on availability. So
Okay.
it would. I want to say it's at 2 weeks, and then it can be extended, but I'm not sure. I know that I think each location varies in the
Yes.
rules.
But there are plenty of
there-
computers
yes.
at the library if you
As
don't need to check it out,
well.
right?
Yes,
Absolutely.
and I'm thinking mainly of our college students.
Yes.
We know
Yes.
that our schools offer the one-to-one initiative where they have access to a device, but our college students. They're
might-
not
yeah.
given a device. So this would be really great for them to know and understand that not only can they go to the library and do whatever they need to do on a computer or a device there, but they can also rent one, bring
Very
it
nice
with
to
them,
know. Yeah.
and bring it back.
They're borrowing it. So in addition to that, for just not our college students, which we also embrace, we have study rooms, meeting rooms.
Yes.
You can use your library card, sign up and have a quiet space to study, or take a Zoom, or sit with your just want to go on Saturdays, and your older school age children are trying to focus, and you got your reading time, story time, and so you have that space to be able to navigate. But many young people may come home from school, college, and then they want to go to the library and sit, or just study.
Have a
quiet
moment
place.
to themselves.
Well, those of us who live downtown near the Ben May branch will often see Barton Academy students walking from Barton Academy to hang out in the library for the afternoon. I just
see
love
them
that.
Yes.
I see them every day from the window in my office, and I always know when school is out because I
Yes.
see them get
Here
to the
come the
corner,
students.
and then they start walking in. But we see it all over our system, and I
Yes.
think parents would be surprised at, especially some of our older, those who are able to walk and go by themselves, and they're not bus riders. They'll walk to the library, and then they hang out. They put the books down, and then they pull out, whatever they're working on. They may ask for assistance with homework. Brings up something else. Another wonderful resource we have is online tutoring through the library.
Wow.
And that's available 24/7,
That
isn't
is
it?
available 24/7, and it is awesome. So if parents are struggling with helping
Yes.
with advanced
Math.
before I can say it,
I know.
advanced math.
It's
right?
different than when we were
It
in
is
school.
very,
It's different.
little
it's
bit
very
different.
different.
Yes.
But when I say how awesome this is, you simply put in your library card, you click on the subject, you click on, whether it's advanced AP courses or something, but whatever advanced topic or English, you can literally it comes up a whiteboard, and you can put in the actual problem you're working on, and the tutor on the other end is helping them and
Wow.
writing
And
in the chat and talking
explaining
to them.
how it's
It
done.
is awesome.
That
so
sounds
that's
amazing.
the math part. But even on the other side, the writing component,
Mm-hmm.
you can upload your document, and they will give you feedback and proof it.
Wow.
Because some, that may not be a strength, or a parent may need more support with that at home, or a young person may be trying to work
I always
on it.
say everyone needs an editor.
Yes, I agree. I agree. But that is a resource, and sometimes I don't think that people realize it. So,
I think a lot of people don't know about that.
tutoring,
That's a good
tutoring
one.
online through the library is absolutely free and a wonderful resource we like to see.
Can you tell us a little bit about how Hoopla works? I hear a lot of
Hoopla.
y'all talk about
Oh.
Hoopla.
Yet
hoopla.
another hoopla. I like to say that too. Hoopla,
Yes, it's
hoopla.
fun
What's
to
the
say.
hoopla? Let me tell you what the hoopla is all about.
Yeah.
Hoopla is online streaming, movies, TV shows.
So this is the fun stuff.
This is
Yes.
actually the fun stuff, but and so some people who may not have subscriptions to other, or may just want to supplement it, we have a catalog with all types of resources in there for entertainment and streaming. So of course we have audiobooks, those are really popular for some
Yes.
adults, but Hoopla has so many different movies that you can just simply use your library card, register it, and pull it up. and
Well,
watch
I'm
a
thinking
movie.
about if you're planning a lengthy road trip, or even just a couple of hours in the car, it'd be good to be able to
Audiobooks,
plug
anything
in.
that you're able to stream is right there in Hoopla, and so all types of interests, that whatever you would like. But it's really, I enjoy Hoopla too. It's really popular.
Yes. And I was even thinking when you were speaking about the students walking to the library and how they're able to reserve rooms, those could definitely be utilized when they're doing projects.
Oh, absolutely.
Book
Especially group
clubs,
projects.
Special group projects.
I see it with group projects.
Yes.
With our young people, and they're able to use that. So if we were to bridge beyond just some of what we're doing directly, partnering with schools and communities, community groups using our
Yes.
meeting room spaces. So
Yes.
for whatever, a quick meeting, or let's say that Sally wanted to come over and visit and come to my office, and I go, oh, I'll meet you across the street. There's a meeting room there we could sit and use. We don't, have to sit out in the general area. We may need a little more privacy.
Yes.
I often think of other things that happen in families that the library can support, like parents utilizing our business center, or exploring job, career, taking a Zoom, an interview. Those are perfect places, perfect ways to
Absolutely.
use your library card. So
That's a wonderful little note there for
Yes.
our adults to know that, if they feel like they don't have a space where they can have that interview or that
Yes.
Zoom meeting,
Yes.
they can
Yes.
come there, be in
Yes.
one of the meeting rooms, and have just that quiet time to utilize and do what they need to do.
One resource I love are the resources we have for small businesses. And so, a lot of times we think of the student and we think of just academics, but there's a whole piece, a holistic piece to what a student is and the best that they can be with a family that has the resources that it needs. And so small business resources are at the library, definitely the Ben May Library. We had a special grant that has a whole section of materials there. Grant writing, starting a business, online classes that we have, all of those resources.
Well,
are
the
there.
grant writing workshops, I think y'all do a lot of them out at the West Branch, and I've been to a couple, and they are really, really thorough. It
Yes.
was very,
Oh, yeah.
I learned a lot.
I was looking at our social media page, and that's a plug for parents to follow us on social media, all of
Yes.
our platforms, because you'll see things that are happening, you'll see things that are coming up, but it kind of piques your interest as a little bit as to what's going on. But one thing that I want to say, I just saw, was it yesterday or the day before, but it was at West Regional, and it was, I think, the Money Moves, Money Moves, and just seeing the crowd that was there, that was exciting.
Yes.
And just being connected to a community space where you can, again, enjoy and explore.
That's
Yes.
fantastic.
The way that you learn and the way that you grow
Yes.
is by branching out and
Yes.
doing different things, meeting with different people in your community,
Yes.
and opening your mind to other things. And so,
My hope is that all students, all parents, all parts of our community feel comfortable coming in,
Yes.
exploring, utilizing, and knowing that it's their library. It's ours, but it's theirs.
Yes.
And we want them to utilize every aspect
Yes.
of it.
Well, you reminded me, one of the other neat things that Ben May will do is host art exhibits from children. And we're
So
talking all
special.
schools, all grades. And that's a huge point of pride, I think, for the children and the parents to come in and say, hey, look, that's my piece of artwork there on the wall for everybody to enjoy.
I was just talking to one of the children librarians there last evening, and that was a program that she talked about. But Ben May is not the only library that does that. The Sims Library also
Yes.
has.
Oh,
that's
yeah?
in my community.
Yes, we've talked about that. Art
Moore
exhibits.
Branch, too.
And
Yeah.
the Moore, yes, definitely the Moore Branch. Awesome artwork that's there,
Yeah.
and a specialist that really enjoys that and taps into that. So, again, not just our main library or our large one, the West Regional, but check out all of the different
Yes.
locations.
Explore
And see, other things
Yes.
that are happening, and you'll be so surprised to learn that there are just many spaces that offer wonderful programs, art, reading,
Yes.
cooking, just so many different things.
Well,
Yes.
let's talk a little bit about how the community can support the library. I know that people can donate all year around for the Friends of the Library sale. Can you
Absolutely.
tell us a little bit more about that?
Thank you. So we've got a couple of different ways that people can support. Our Friends of the Library is a group that supports the library, basically, and they do different events that help pour back into the library. So our annual book sale is in the spring, and so we're gearing up for it now. Our program managers are gearing up for that. It's a huge, beautiful sale where people can come out, peruse books, and just bring the whole family and enjoy it. If someone wanted to sign up with our friends group, they would go to our website and just the drop down there about the library. I think it's under about the library, and then join the friends group. Just sign up
Yeah.
online.
I always look forward to that book sale.
Yes,
And
it's very popular. It's a
Yes.
program, but it's very popular. But it's our friends. It's our
Yes.
friends.
And
that
so,
support
if
it.
someone wants to donate to this, how can they get involved and help?
Help volunteer at the library or just
Yes.
make donations?
Yes,
Well, we are
both.
located at
Yes, come
at
on.
700 Government Street.
Yes.
Absolutely, you can contact our administrative offices, and the contact information is on our website. But definitely, you can go into any branch location and speak with a branch manager and simply say, "I'd like to make a donation," or "I'd like to volunteer. How can I help? And what do you need?" We love it when the community comes in and supports us.
Well, thank you so much, Ms. Hall, for joining us
Sure,
today.
sure.
This
Happy
has
to be
been
here.
just a sweeping overview, I think, of every great program going on
Sure,
at the library.
sure.
And that is all the time we have. So thank you so much for listening and watching, and we'll catch you next time on Learning Leading Now.